Hey everyone! Yesterday I received a box in the mail from Crossway, and I'm really excited about what's inside here, because this is a Bible that is just coming out. This might be the first look at this Bible on the internet. It's a ESV Heirloom Thinline in a Horween leather cover. I'm just going to take a look at this, give some first impressions, and in a future video I will do a full review of this Bible and compare it to some other Bibles. But let's just take a look at this Bible, a first look at this. So this is the two-piece box. Has a very clean look to it with the gold imprinting. And it says English Standard Version, ESV Heirloom Bible, Thinline Edition, Horween Leather Brown. Back of the box gives some information. So Thinline Bibles from Crossway are something that they've had out for a long time, and I think it's one of their most popular formats of the ESV. So this is really nothing new. The Horween leather, though, is from the Horween Leather Company, and it's a very high-end leather. So that's part of what makes this Bible special and appealing to people. The heirloom editions also haven't always been out, and sometimes they do go out of print, or you don't see them as commonly. And more recently, I think the heirloom editions were printed in China. So another thing that is really exciting about the newest printing of the Heirloom Thinline is that this is printed in the Netherlands. So I expect great things from this. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Of course, inside here we have what you get with the Heirloom Bibles, the pledge card, that this is going to be high quality. It is wrapped in this material. I never know what to call it. I always forget what to call it. But kind of a suede feel to it, I guess. And then inside, we have the Thinline Bible. And if you're familiar with other Horween leather covers, this is what we've seen before. It's a very smooth leather that they've been using. And some people like that very simple, minimalistic look. You can see even on the spine, there is no gold stamping. It's just a dry stamp, blind stamp. So we'll put the box aside here and take a look more at the Bible itself. So it does have spine hubs and perimeter stitching. I do see a little bit of a mark here, and that's one thing about Horween leather, this particular type of leather that they've been using on the ESV Bibles from Horween. It does show nicks and marks, but that's one of the things people like about it. Kind of develops its own character. I do love just how thin this Bible is. Those of you who watch my channel know that this is one of my favorite form factors. Not only thin, it's not super tall and wide. It's very easy to hold, manage, carry around. And it looks like there's going to be 2 brown ribbons in there, so let's get those out. And those are just some narrow angle cut ribbons. That's one of the complaints people have about the high-end Crossway Bibles, is that the ribbons aren't as elaborate as you see in other high-end Bibles. And so that tends to underwhelm people, and they will complain a lot of times about the Crossway ribbons. And Crossway has, in general, not changed that unless you get something that's published from evangelicalbible.com, one of their exclusive Bibles. The Crossway Bibles themselves, though, just continue to come with these kinds of ribbons. I know that's going to disappoint a lot of people. Personally, it's never been that big of a deal to me. But this one does come with those 2 narrow angle cut ribbons. They are double-sided. And no, they're not very long. So again, the ribbons are going to be a disappointment, I'm sure, to a lot of people. But the Bible itself so far is exactly what I expected in that Horween leather. The gilt on the side is gold gilt. Looks pretty nice. And It is a red under gilt. The red is reminiscent of the kind of red that I see in Cambridge Bibles. It's not really like a dark red, although this one actually is applied pretty richly, and so it does have kind of a rich look to it, but it's not like a dark red is what I'm trying to say, which is what you might see maybe on a lot of the Schuyler Quintels. It's more of a darker red, I would say. But that being said, whatever color this is, it has a very rich look to it. And you get a first look at the format inside here. It's really the classic Thinline format. They haven't changed anything about it. From what I can tell here, it's not line matched, which in more recent printings of the ESV, they have line matched the text. So that means that the text on this side of the page does not line up with the text on the other side of the page. It's not aligned. So that will tend to cause more noticeable ghosting. That being said, I think for this Bible, it's really not an issue. The paper is very nice. It is an 8-point font. So I think it looks to me very readable. The beginning, of course, is going to have your records pages, presentation page. It is a glossy cardstock paper. I think one improvement, one thing that I would prefer is something that's not highly glossy like this. I think it's more likely that the ink is going to smear when you first write on it. But still, you do have all those pages at the beginning. And looking inside here at the beginning, you can see it is printed in the Netherlands and printed in 2022. So it is really great to see it printed in the Netherlands. That usually denotes some very high quality. The paper is going to be nice. The printing itself is going to be nice. Like I said, I'll go through this in a future video and give a full review. But just a quick look at this, you can see the paper is really good quality, which you expect from the Netherlands. At the end of the Bible, I can see you do have a concordance here. And after the concordance, you have maps on that glossy cardstock paper. So I think it's really what I expected. A lot of aspects of this are very high-end, beautiful leather cover that just has a great look to it. I like the spine a lot. That type of leather, I think, is just really unique, very high quality. It's going to hold up. The binding is nice. It's edge-lined. The paper, the printing from the Netherlands is fantastic. The format is what you expect in an ESV Thinline. Great form factor. The negatives are what people have complained about in the past, would be the glossy cardstock in the maps and at the front that I talked about, and also the ribbons. Those are areas that a lot of people would like to see some changes. For me, though, I think this is exactly what I expected. Very high quality. I know for those of you who like that Horween leather, this is going to be something really appealing to you. For other people, it's not really that important. It's not worth the money. However, having an ESV Thinline is maybe a Bible that you would want to get. And maybe just get an edition that doesn't cost as much, because the format itself is really nice. I will compare this in a future video to the large print Thinline. That's one of my favorite Bibles because it's a similar form factor, but you get even larger font. I will say, though, that this is so nicely printed that I can read this quite easily, even though the font is not very large. It is an 8-point font, so it's large enough. But I do a lot of times prefer something even larger than an 8-point. But it looks to me like this is a full notes edition, black letter text in the New Testament. So I know there are a lot of people who are going to be excited about this, and I wanted to give you a first look at it. Thank you so much for watching this unboxing. If you have any questions or comments about this Bible, I'd love to see that in the comment section. But thank you so much for taking a look at this with me from a fresh perspective.